You have to do this to stand a chance at true wealth. Ever wondered why some people, despite earning handsomely, still struggle, while others on modest incomes flourish and grow their wealth? What's the secret sauce they're stirring into their financial pot? Today, we're diving deep into a topic that has puzzled many: the real reasons why most people remain poor, and more importantly, how to pivot away from those pitfalls. The significance of understanding these barriers to wealth is unparalleled. It's not just about earning, it's about learning the right way to manage, invest, and grow that income. And who better to guide us on this journey than Warren Buffett himself? We'll be delving into his insights as he unveils the 5 key things that keep people from accumulating wealth. As Warren Buffett said, many Americans have been living the American nightmare instead of the American dream. Take a look at this. Did you know that 58% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck? That means when you go to the grocery store, 60% of the entire store is struggling to make ends meet, unable to properly afford their groceries. The reality is that it doesn't matter where you live, as it affects the entirety of America. Here's a surprise though: being broke doesn't have anything to do with how much you make. There have been cases of people who have grown 6-figure accounts with a minimum wage job and support a family. But there's another side of the coin. There are people who make over $100,000 in salary and still live paycheck to paycheck. It's all by choice. In fact, Warren Buffett is someone who has built up his wealth with very little to start with. We all need money to survive, and that's why we work. In the words of Warren Buffett, if you don't learn to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. If you want to stop drowning in debt and live the life you want with healthy people around you, you need to figure this out. Buffett has identified 5 key things that keep people poor, and I'm going to share them with you today. Number 1, zero balance thinking. Let's say you have $50 in your bank account. Normally, when you think you have $50, you assume you have $50 to spend, right? This may backfire big time. As Warren Buffett says, don't buy what you can't afford. Just because you have $50 doesn't mean you should spend $50. This is what zero balance thinking is. Zero balance thinking is the killer of wealth. It's why income isn't what determines whether you are broke or rich. For instance, Warren Buffett lives a lifestyle of around $100K a year, even though he's the 5th richest person in the world. If you make $40K a year and spend it all, you're still broke. If you make $100K a year and spend $100K a year, you're still broke. What you need to do is make sure to take some of your paycheck and put it into savings, so you are prepared for emergencies and investments. As Warren Buffett says, I don't like to jump over 7-foot bars. I look around for 1-foot bars that I can step over. Avoid making your path harder than it needs to be, and avoid zero balance thinking. Number 2, payment traps. Warren Buffett makes it so obvious, but if you're not careful, low prices can turn against you. Many people who look rich really aren't. They have very expensive things, and it makes you wonder how they can afford them, and you can't. As Buffett says, only when the tide goes out do you discover who's been swimming naked. In other words, only when you really look at things can you see who's really rich and who isn't. For example, let's say someone you know bought a Grand Wagoneer recently. It's a beautiful car, and they only have $1,000 in monthly payments for it. However, just because they can afford $1,000 in monthly payments doesn't mean they can afford it brand new with cash up front. They can't truly afford it. What this leads to is an illusion that you can spend more money than you actually have because you're not paying lump sums for the items you do have, like $120,000 for a new Grand Wagoneer. One particular area you'll see this a lot is with zero APR deals. For instance, an electric scooter costs between $150 and $300, can be paid in monthly installments of $20 to $30 a month. It feels like you can afford many more items, but you'll end up having to pay the full amount back anyway. And when you have to pay for not just a car at $1,000, but also a couch at $75 a month and plenty of other items in your home, on top of things like credit card debt, you'll be broke forever. The issue is avoidable if you steer clear of payment traps. Number 3, compounding. Once you overcome payment traps and the zero balance mindset, you can focus on compounding your money. Compounding is the magical effect that takes money and grows it at an exponential rate. If you want your money to grow using this magical effect, you'll need to learn 2 terms Warren Buffett knows better than anyone: assets and liabilities. Assets are things you own that put money in your pocket, like dividend-paying stocks or real estate, whereas liabilities are things like the car you own. the clothes you buy, or a new cell phone. What broke people do is buy things that make them look rich. But since they are liabilities, they aren't truly rich. When you start focusing on buying assets, you can truly become rich. In fact, you can become so rich that you can easily buy liabilities. The assets you own generate so much cash that you can afford those liabilities with cash. The best part is you don't need tons of cash to get started. While real estate is expensive, you can buy assets like stocks that pay dividends with as little as $10 a day, week, or even a month. You can do as much as you're comfortable with. The point is that assets aren't the same as just keeping your money in a savings account. Savings accounts barely grow your money. What you need is passive income. This is income that is generated while you sleep. Just like Warren Buffett said, remember, you can't work forever. If you don't generate passive income, you'll never truly be rich, no matter how many things you own. Number 4, avoid consumerism. Have you ever noticed that rich people don't flaunt their wealth as much as you think? It's because they aren't as affected by consumerism as broke people are. The trap of consumerism is tricky, but avoidable. Consumerism is the idea that buying stuff will make you happy. I mean, it does in the short term, but it doesn't last. When you focus on just owning things, you're never truly satisfied. It's like trying to eat your favorite food forever. At first, it's great, but after a while, you get tired of it. If you look at your phone or computer, you're constantly being told to buy something. And if you fall for these ads and buy things, you'll keep getting more ads. It's like a cycle of unhappiness. The only way to break free is to realize that you don't need stuff to be happy. You need experiences like traveling, hanging out with friends, or doing things you love, like hobbies. You can enjoy life without having to buy stuff. In fact, Warren Buffett has an old Nokia flip phone, even though he could buy any phone in the world. This is because he knows that what truly matters isn't what you own, but the experiences you have. Just think of the best day you ever had. Was it because you bought something, or was it because you did something? Number 5, lack of financial literacy. You may think financial literacy is complex, but it's not. Warren Buffett has said that most people could learn everything they need to about investing in a few hours. The problem is that they don't. The world is changing rapidly, and if you don't educate yourself, you'll be left behind. One of the biggest things people overlook is inflation. If you just save your money without investing it, it'll be worth less over time. Inflation is the slow, silent killer of money. You need to protect yourself from inflation, and the best way to do that is to invest your money. However, you can't just throw your money into any investment. You need to educate yourself and make smart decisions. The best way to do this is to read. Start with books like The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. This book is the foundation for many successful investors, including Warren Buffett. You can also watch videos on YouTube or take courses online. The point is to constantly be learning. Don't just accept things as they are. Question everything and seek to understand the world around you. As Warren Buffett says, the more you learn, the more you earn. So there you have it, 5 things that keep people poor according to Warren Buffett. If you can understand and avoid these 5 things, you'll be on your way to true wealth. Remember, it's not about how much you make, but how much you keep and grow. Now go out and make your money work for you, just like Warren Buffett. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you found this video helpful. And stay tuned for more enlightening content. Thank you for joining us on this journey towards financial literacy and empowerment. To learn more about personal finance and investing, watch more videos from our channel.